What is going on, guys? My name is Adam and welcome to Select Studios. So today I'm playing some Skate 3, and the sad thing is I just got this game and I haven't been able to play it that much because of school. And that's something I want to talk to you guys about today, because I just want to describe how I feel about it. I think probably most of you feel the same way, but I just want to talk about that. So school, I understand that we all need to go to it, and nobody really likes it, but I have to admit I don't mind it that much. I mean, the concept of going to school every day I don't hate it that much. I mean, it's a good way to see your friends a lot and meet new people, but a lot of people just hate going to school. I think it's perfectly fine. What I really have a problem with is just the homework. They have you in this building for about like 8 hours a day, it seems like. I don't even know the exact number. I go to school at around 7 and I get home at around 3, so that's probably 8 hours. So I think it's just kind of dumb that you should have to do extra homework while you're at home. It just seems ridiculous to me. And I mean, I want to go to school because I want to be able to get a good job at college and all that. I want to go to college and get a good job and all that, but I just think that some of the homework is just a little excessive. And one of the big problems is that every teacher that you have thinks that that's your only teacher. So, say I go to math in the morning, then that teacher tells me, he gives me so much homework, but I feel like they don't know that there's other classes that we're taking, and this class is not the only class that I'm taking. So I think they should at least lay off the homework a little bit. Like tonight, I just got 60 problems for math that I have to do as soon as I'm finished making this. It's like, come on, we want to do stuff at home. We don't want to just be stuck doing work all day. And so I was sitting in biology class today, and that's how I came up with the topic for this video. And I was just thinking, like, why do we learn some of the stuff we do? So I plan on going to college when I'm older and becoming either a video editor or an engineer, somewhere in that area, because those are two topics that I like. And so sitting in biology, and we're learning about this stupid cellular respiration or whatever, photosynthesis and all that, and all these intricate chemical formulas and processes, and I just look over to my lab partner, one of my good friends, and I'm just like, why are we learning this? This is the stupidest thing. I don't need to know this in order to do my career. I mean, if people that are going to go into biology, you need to learn that, then let them do that at college. Not every high school student needs to know the chemical makeup of photosynthesis and all that crap. I mean, that's the worst part about it. I mean, coming to school every day, I've just accepted the fact that I'm gonna have to do it, and so I've just decided to look at it positively and try to look at every day as like a good day. But when you just go into class and you hear, okay class, we're having a 200-point test next week on all this garbage that nobody needs to know, that's just what pisses me off. I mean, like, so my first period class is health, which is, I have to admit, coming into it, I thought I would hate that class, but it's not that bad. I met some new kids in that class that are in the grade above me, and it's not that bad, and some of the information is useful. I just think, like, they just tell us a little bit too much about some of the drugs and stuff, but, I mean, they have to fill up a whole half year about stuff, so they can't really just give you the basics, but that class isn't too bad. But then second period is biology, and that is by far my least favorite class. I can't stand that class. It just absolutely sucks. Just the teacher sucks. Oh god, it's horrible. Just I'm not trying to be mean, because I mean, I guess a teacher, she's nice, but just she has to teach such a crappy class. It kind of puts her and everybody else in a bad mood. But it's just stupid because they have to learn this stuff that nobody wants to learn, and then got to do a science fair. It's like, my project is, does temperature affect the life of a battery? It's like, obviously. I mean, they don't design batteries. Like, you have to do something that relates to you. So I was like, alright, I go skiing a lot, my phone runs out of battery, why don't I just do that? And she's like, oh, that's a great idea. And so that's what I'm doing, and it's like, it's kind of obvious that it does, because when I'm out snowboarding and my phone is charged at 100% and I come into the lodge and it's at 10%, that doesn't happen normally, so I pretty much know that already. But that, I mean, it's so stupid, some of the stuff. And then third period, I have a study hall. Thank God, that's like just a relief after that horrible class of biology. And the worst part is you can't get out of it. You have to take that class. It's required. And so I love study hall just because you can sit back and relax and you don't have to do anything. You talk to your friends. Sorry guys, I had to cut the clip. Someone was calling me. But like I was saying, that's the study hall. It's the most enjoyable class. I mean, it lets you, like, say if I have a bunch of homework at night, my backpack's completely loaded and I'm just all stressed out, I can just like pick my least favorite homework that I really don't feel like doing and just say, alright, I'm just gonna put this off and do it in study hall tomorrow, because it's about an hour long period, so you can get a bunch of stuff done there. So that's really nice. Some of the things I don't like about study hall is that, I guess I shouldn't say that's kind of mean. Just that some people are really loud and just like, I mean, you can't really blame them because it's not their fault that they're just naturally loud. Like, a lot of people get pissed off about that. I just understand, because there's some people that just, no matter how hard they try, they can't really be quiet. But that's really the only bad thing. But then after that, I have English, which it's not a horrible class. The teacher, if I didn't have the teacher I had now, the class would be so much worse. I have this like really lenient teacher that he's just really nice, and he's not that strict or anything, so he's really, he can let you get away with anything pretty much. Like, if you're late, he won't really care that much. If you don't do your homework, he'll usually give you an extra night and still give you full credit, which is really nice. He's one of the best teachers that I've had so far. Except, I mean, he doesn't teach that well, but just the fact that he's nice is what I love. Yeah, and that class isn't bad because I mean, you kind of have to know English for the rest of your life if you want to be able to write like good job applications and all that. And so, I mean, I don't really mind that class. But after that, I have Spanish. And that's one of those other classes. I hate it. It's so bad. I have the teacher I don't really like. I mean, I guess I'm complaining about a lot of my teachers, but they're not really. I guess I just don't like them as many this year. I promise you, last year there's a lot of better ones. But I mean, that's just one of those things. It's like, why do I need to know how to speak Spanish? I mean, I can understand like learning the basic phrases, but you have to take 3 years of it. So by then I'll know I'll know a lot of Spanish, and a lot more than I'll ever need to know, because I like ask my parents always talk about Spanish, and they'll ask me like a phrase to say, and they won't even know if it's right because they don't even remember it. It's like nobody ever uses Spanish in your life unless you're going on a out of business or a out of country trip. So that's another one that I think is fairly useless. I mean, it's not a terrible class. It's just some of it's really hard, like the verbs and stuff and conjugations. But I can stand that one. After that, I have lunch, which I think one of the things that they like pack you in with all these like long periods they're like 50 some minutes long, and we get like a 25-minute lunch. It's like, it gives us like maybe 10 more minutes to enjoy ourselves. That'd be nice. But I like lunch. It's good. Like, the way my school does it is there's like an A, B, C lunch, so it's split up into 3 different sections. So for example, I have Spanish A and B period. Like, so it's 5th period. It's split up to A, B, C. I have Spanish A and B, and then lunch C. So it all depends on, like, you might not even be able to get lunch with any of your friends, but luckily this year I found a few people, well, actually, two of my best friends are in my lunch, so that's good. So yeah, lunch isn't, I like lunch, but after that I have Algebra 2, Math, whatever, and I've always enjoyed math my entire life. I mean, I think it's pretty useful, but just some of the stuff we learn is, I don't know, but I like math, so I can't really complain about that. The teacher's like, he's like really strict, but he's strict in a funny way, and so nobody in his class is really going to do anything bad, which is good at sometimes, because then you can actually get stuff done. And so he's like really strict, but then he'll do like funny stuff, like close people out of the door and then just like leave them out there. I mean, it doesn't sound funny, but it's funny if you're actually there. It's just like one of those had to be there sort of things. So that's a pretty good class. I actually like it. The one thing I don't like is that, like, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I'm a freshman and I don't know how to say this. I guess I'm accelerated, so I'm in Algebra 2, and that's usually a class that a junior would take, so it's, luckily I have like my best friend in that class, and so at least I have someone I know in there, and so it's just me, him, and a bunch of juniors, so it's like, and surprisingly, some of the juniors are so stupid. It's like, you can understand why they're in such a class that a freshman's in, but they're pretty cool, so that's alright. And lastly, I have American history, which is actually, I've never liked history until this year. Like, I've always had, our history department at the middle school is so bad. There's no good teachers. Like, there's literally 2 teachers, and you're either stuck with one or the other. All 3 years you're in middle school, and they're all horrible. You don't learn anything, which, like, I actually like learning stuff. I'd rather learn something than just sit in a class not learning anything. But those guys are just crap teachers. But this year, I really love my teacher. He's really nice, and he like doesn't care if you're late, but then he keeps the class in order, so you'll learn something. Like, I like am enjoying learning about American history this year, and I really have nothing to complain about that class. There's nothing that's ridiculous in it. It's just a good, solid class. The only thing, I guess, if I could complain about anything, is the notes. Like, we have a lot of notes to do in that class, but I mean, it's history. I don't know what else to expect, but it's just like 4 days a week of notes. It kind of stinks. And along with sports and like these clubs that they want you to join, it's just, that's the only thing. I wish they would just lighten up on a little bit of homework, because we're already doing a ton of stuff in class. And that's what I like about my history teacher. He understands that there's other teachers in the school, and we have 7 classes a day, and that we can't just focus on his work. Like, if we have a test in another class, he'll ask us to make sure that he's not like putting his test on the day as a bunch of other people's tests. So he's probably like my favorite teacher this year. So yeah, that's kind of got a lot longer than I thought, but that's just my view on school. And if you guys have the same view, or you have something else you want to add, just leave it in the comments and I'll look at it and respond. And don't forget to leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe. And we have some exciting news, because we're going to Holiday Valley, which is a really awesome ski resort in New York this weekend. And so we're going to get a really cool video out, and I was like watching some other videos, some other kids' videos about my age, and I really want to make a video part this year. If you don't know what that is, it's like your best tricks of the year. So it's usually at the end of the year, you put together all your best tricks that you got on film and put them into one video. So I really want to do that, so I want to start getting clips for that this weekend. And so yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for videos every Tuesday and Thursday, and I will see you next Thursday.